You're a holdover tenant.
The doctor had wrote a note out to the apartment complex.
He needs his lease to be extended for a period of 10 weeks.
I want to excuse Your Honor.
You can't stay for free. All right. Now, where are we on this? Can you state your names?
I'm Adam Dennis.
I'm Sina Lara.
Okay.
No, it's Sina Lara Berry.
Pardon?
It's Sina Lara hyphen.
Got it. Okay. All right. So where are we on this?
It's a termination case. The original lease ended in March. The defendants asked my client for an extension. My client reluctantly agreed, and they entered into a defined term extension, which ended at the end of September. The defendants haven't moved. They have some.
Right away, this case takes an unusual turn. The tenants aren't denying the lease is expired. They're asking the court for extra time because of a serious medical condition. But here's the big question. Can a doctor's note legally override a signed lease? Stick around, because the judge is about to explain exactly where sympathy ends and the law begins.
Pretty compelling circumstances that cause one to have sympathy for their situation, but the lease ended and my client would like possession.
All right, folks, what do you have to say?
In April, they wanted the end lease, not for payment, just because they just wanted to retain it. I had a surgery in June that had to be done. Surgery didn't go that well. So I ended up talking to the doctors a little bit more, and they set me a surgery date for November 22nd, just in the next 2 weeks. Possession was supposed to be given back on October 31st, but due to my condition that I'm going through currently, the doctor had wrote a note out to the apartment complex and also one to the Fair House Commission, and gave us one as well about physical disabilities and me being able to me needing to be able to stay for another couple months after my surgery is given, because as of this moment, it's very hard for me to actually move anything out of the apartment right now because of what I'm going through. And I don't want to cause or rupture my stomach and end up getting another hernia from it, which would be worse for my surgery.
I realize the lease ended. Have they paid any rent?
We haven't accepted, my client
Right.
has not accepted rent since the termination. So they were at a zero balance. And Your Honor, I'll just point out that the second notice to quit, which was just the agreement of the parties that it would end on the 30th, was sent in July. So, as I said, they present facts which engender sympathy, but there's no legal basis for them to remain in the unit without my client's consent.
When is, you say your surgery is when?
November 22nd.
And that notification, Mr. Fink, was that notification given to the landlord for the doctor that he spoke about?
Recently,
There's been a few times, and I have an email.
I have a letter dated November 4th from the hospital.
Okay, and does it say that he needs to stay for 2 months?
Or it says, well, it appears to have been crafted with some legal advice, because it says to enhance his ability to live independently and have full enjoyment of his dwelling. It sounds like a Fair Housing Act line. He needs his lease to be extended through his recovery from surgery I'm paraphrasing, for a period of 10 weeks from surgery. So that would be sometime in February, Your Honor, in December, January, 8, 9, and the last week in February. So that would be somewhere in the early part of February for a lease that
Notice how the judge is carefully separating emotion from legal authority. He clearly sympathizes with the tenant's health issues, but compassion alone doesn't automatically create a legal right to remain in someone else's property. That's one of the toughest balancing acts judges face every day.
was supposed to end in March of this year.
You understand that your lease has ended,
Yes, Your Honor.
right? You understand that you're going to have to move.
Yes, Your Honor.
The real issue is when.
Your Honor, to be honest, I got married on July, so most of my stuff has been out. However, my son has got weekly doctor's visits. And even today, right after your hearing, he has to go he has to go to the doctor after this. And so weekly visits to the doctors because he had ruptured intestines too.
Okay,
So
I understand that.
I understand what your question is.
Yes, I do.
I guess the best possibility for the situation, I would think, I guess in a perfect world would be for me to be able to move after I have my 10 weeks of recovery from surgery. That would be the best instance. That's not the case. And I would like to work out some type of agreement with Robert and get something officially set in stone if we can't get to an agreement on this.
Okay, but here's my question.
Okay.
Rent has been paid through October, right? Is that, no,
September.
September?
September. And they didn't accept it October.
Well, okay, ma'am, I heard
Sorry.
you.
I apologize.
So how much is monthly rent?
Holdover rent is the holdover rent is 2 times the lease amount. The lease amount is $11.80. Holdover rent is $23.60. There's 2 months of that.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I understand, but had we negotiated an extension, there would have been a rental increase anyway. So my point is that even $11.80, if someone thinks that a landlord can be forced to have a lease extend past the negotiated, agreed upon date for the benefit of the tenant, it should not also be that someone thinks that you should impose a 2-year-old rental rate for that same holdover period.
Well, I think it's that rate because we've been there for about 10 years,
11
sir.
years, Your Honor.
Okay, but here's the thing,
That's my point,
folks.
sir.
So that you
Mine too.
just understand. Ultimately, the decision I could make is that you got to be out. You just got to go. Just give them a judgment. And you got to go in 10 days, right?
That's 100% true. You could, yes.
So the problem with that, though, is that you have surgery coming up. You've got a recovery time
Yes, sir.
somehow or another to move out, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if I were to give additional time,
Yes.
the problem is that the landlord should not be out. So that meaning that they need to be paid for that.
Here's where things get really interesting. Instead of simply ordering an immediate eviction, the judge starts looking for an equitable solution, one that's fair to both sides. But fairness doesn't mean free housing. If someone stays longer than the lease allows, somebody usually has to bear that financial cost.
Period of time. I mean, we paid a fair amount for that period of time. Whether you gave the check or not, it still has to be caught up.
Yes.
And so right as I sit here right now, I've got October and November,
Yes, sir.
right? And that rental rate's gonna have to be adjusted. I understand the holdover rental rate, but if I were to say that at least a fair rental rate, even now would be around $1,600. That means that there would need to be $3,200 paid to cover October and November.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand the math, I guess. because of the increase in rent that or is that the holdover?
No. Here's what you have to understand.
Okay.
You're a holdover tenant.
Okay.
So if I said anything beyond the 10 days that quite frankly they're entitled to, if I use my what are called equitable powers to try to do something in the middle so that you can stay there during your recovery period,
Okay.
then technically, and I think it would be the landlord's position, they're entitled to the holdover rent, which would be about $2,360 per month.
Understood. Okay.
What I'm saying is, okay, if we don't do that, what would be a fair rental amount? What Mr. Fink pointed out is the 1180 or about 1200 from 2 years ago isn't fair. And he's right.
It's about 1270 now.
No, it's, no,
Folks, can
Yes,
I just, Rand, what else do you want to say?
Your Honor, the rent is 1180, so about
That's our rate right now.
right now. When I spoke with Robert, he said, "Are you paying 1180 or 1280?" And so the pamphlet shows 1280, but he said it's going to go up to 1305. And I said, "Okay, but
You're a holdover tenant.
Okay."
Yes, sir. I get it.
Okay?
Okay.
So let me ask you this. If I said you can stay through December 31st, but in order to do that, give me 2360 times 3.
2360 times 3.
Hang on.
Be 6,900.
7,080.
Say be what?
7,080.
And then 16 times 3. 16. 48.
48.
All right. So here are really going to be the choices. If I say that you can at least stay, I don't think I can say to them, you can get to stay through for the whole 10-week period. Somehow or another, you're going to have to figure out something else. I get the recovery period. Pardon?
I said it wouldn't make sense to try to stay till like December or something like that. I mean, mid-December if I'm not doing the whole 10 week because you're still moving in the middle of it. So I understand what you're saying.
You're still what?
You would still be moving in the middle of recovery if you gave me like a month and a half or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But, and of course it depends on the surgery, but there's going to be more delicate parts of that recovery period,
Absolutely.
which is usually at the beginning,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm looking at is I'm trying to find that period. I'm not medical, so I don't know for sure.
For sure.
But I'm trying to find something in the context of this thing that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if I were to say through December 31st, the landlord, because you're a holdover, would get the 7,080. Do you have that?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So then I said, all right, here's what's going to be the fair rent in the court's mind of about 1,600.
We still can't afford that, sir. We're barely making it by with what we have right now.
Okay. So then here's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Your lease ended.
Yes, sir.
If I were, as I said, using my equitable powers to say under your circumstance,
This is the moment the reality sinks in. The court is willing to consider extra time, but only if the tenant can actually afford the adjusted rent. Judges can sometimes grant flexibility, but they can't rewrite financial obligations out of existence. What would you do if you were in the judge's seat?
chances you could stay.
Yes, sir.
You can't stay for free.
Understood. I definitely understand that.
Me too. I agree.
So right now, as we sit here right now, you can't pay the October and November rent, can you?
Yeah, I think so.
We
Right?
can go 1180 a piece,
Well,
but not double, like you said.
right. So let me ask it a different way. Can you pay 3,200?
16 October. I would have to really search. Your Honor, I own Social Security right now, so I would have to search
Pardon?
that. I'm on Social Security, Your Honor, and I am basically meeting my ends meeting. I would have to talk to also Robert and come with an agreement with Robert, the manager of the apartment. Seem to get along pretty okay. It sounds like the manager and I do.
That what?
I would have to come to speak with the manager if he can.
Ma'am, guys,
Okay.
here are your options, because I'm making a decision on this today,
Yes, sir.
all right? And I think I've given you what the options are. None of them are easy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes, John.
And they can be a bit more difficult. I don't think, in fairness to the landlord, I can have you stay past December 31st.
No, I totally
I agree
understand
with
that.
that.
Okay.
I agree with
I-
that.
So, but the problem is, even to get that extra time, because right now, if I give them a judgment, that date would be the 18th that you have to leave, the 18th of this month.
November.
You have surgery on the what, 22nd?
4 days later.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a balance
Right.
in that. You can't have it both ways.
Of course.
Would,
You're going to have to make the hard call as to what you're going to do. If there's a place, can I just say this? If there's a place that you can go,
I have to figure that out.
okay, but okay.
I understand.
But you have to, I let everybody tell me what they think. So you have to tell me what you're gonna do, but it's gonna be in the universe that I just defined.
I think, if we can figure out to be out by the end of the month, I think that would be
We
reasonable.
want to talk
The
about
end of November?
Yes, sir.
We talk about it. Yes, Your Honor.
What?
Yes, yes, sir. The end of November.
So you want me to give them a judgment, or you have to be out at the end of November?
Yes, sir. Because if not gonna be able to afford 1,600 every.
Listen closely to what the judge is doing here. He's not giving either side everything they want. Instead, he's trying to minimize the harm to both parties, a practical solution that recognizes the tenant's upcoming surgery while still protecting the landlord's property rights. That's often what real courtroom decision-making looks like.
3 months from that point forward, and I'm not gonna be able to stay there for the 10-week rest period. So I would try to get everything out before.
You're gonna try to do the surgery, try to get everything out before,
Yeah.
but then make sure that you've got
That
that
I'm
period of
good.
time afterwards. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
Surgery in the
Just
Sorry.
I'm gonna issue judgment for possession after hearing this matter to the plaintiff for possession. There's no redemption amount. With the writ to issue, well, court's closed, so the writ would issue December 2nd.
Second,
Yes.
so if they don't move out before the first.
Correct. You understand that, folks?
very well. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Is that no tribal issue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
That means if I had a trial, there's nothing really for me to decide. Probably the best way to put it. All right, so folks, you understand that, what this means? You're gonna grant them a judgment. Gotta be out by the first.
Set in stone.
All right. 1st of December. All right.
Are we all set, Your Honor?
Okay, I've signed the judgment. If you want a copy of it, you can pick up a copy up front. Thank you.
In the end, the landlord receives possession, but the tenants walk away with something valuable, extra time to prepare instead of an immediate eviction. It's a reminder that courts can show compassion, but compassion always has legal limits. Do you think the judge reached the right balance? Let me know your opinion in the comments.
Where do I sign it at?
You don't need to sign. Okay, I signed off. I've got.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great day.
You do the same. Okay, court's gonna stand in recess. We'll set it for the 3. Mr. Fink, always a pleasure.